through some type of crises. And the last thing you're going to think about is trying to figure out what exactly at the core root is going on. It's like you want that easy fix just so you can get through your day and wake up every morning.
Yeah, you just want to put a Band-Aid over it.
Exactly.
But I tell people all the time, like even with lymphatic drainage, like if your body can't detox properly, like we can't, it's just going to keep happening. Like,
Correct.
I'm going to see you every 3 weeks and it's going to be the same thing over and over again too.
Right.
So,
and you're just going to wake up every morning feeling drained and fatigued.
for sure. Yeah. And then it just like kills all other aspects of your life and your motivation and things like that too, where you get discouraged.
It does. After a session at Lymphatic Organic, once you're done with your lymphatic drainage massage, I know you say come back every 4 to 6 weeks. Within that 4-week time span, what is your body doing?
So it's going through the entire detox protocol. So basically, like everybody, like I don't know, my before and afters, right? It's visually, you can see a difference right away.
Yes.
And everyone's like, well, where's the fluid? Like I didn't use the restroom. Like where did it go? So the way I describe it is it's like back to flowing like a river as opposed to a stagnant pond. So if any of the drainage points get clogged, almost like a toilet, it backs up.
Right.
So the fluid is just sitting there with those toxins rotting underneath your skin because it can't get through. So once I've restored that flow back in, those bad particles eventually circulate out, pee, poop, and sweat. So you get all that out. And that's why the at-home care of the movement, the sweat, and the breath is so important. So making sure that you're hydrated is also very important too, because any of the excess fluid that we're getting rid of, we want to make sure that your body releases it, almost like starvation. If you don't have the excess fluid, it's not going to allow it to be released because you're not replacing it properly.
Right. What are the major lymphatic points in the body?
So the ones that we particularly manipulate is here.
Okay.
Up and down the neck, the collarbone.
Collarbone.
Abdomen, groin area, like inguinals, and then behind the knee as well too. So and armpits are huge too, especially for us females.
Yeah, I noticed when I come in, you guys are really big on getting in there on the armpits.
I'm huge on the armpits. So that's my main point of, especially when I was pregnant this most recent time, I noticed so much inflammation in that area. And it's hormonal for us females. A lot of that gets collected in the breast tissue and it just sits there underneath. That's why I'm a huge advocate of not using traditional deodorant as well too, because that can cause issues and cause that to get congested.
Right.
And everything just kind of backs up here. So I'm like really knee deep in people's armpits on a daily basis.
I mean, I love that.
Yeah, for sure.
I love it.
It makes the biggest difference for females.
I tell people I'm going to Lymphatic Organic not to enjoy, but to get like wrecked, to be honest.
Exactly.
But when you leave, you feel like a new person.
For sure. And I have some people that come in, they're like, oh, I took an aspirine. I was like, what? Like, what do you think happens in here? It still feels good. I'm not going to hurt you, but it's definitely like, if there's tenderness in those areas, that's just confirmation that you really need it.
That you really need it.
That's those toxins rotting underneath your skin, and that's what makes it hurt. That's why when we like do a few passes through it and I start to manipulate it, it goes away. So it's like, and everybody's like, oh my God, like you can feel it happening in real time, which is very satisfying for most people.
Well, and I would also like to say to women that are maybe going through a breakup or a divorce like you and I did, when I was going through mine, I was trying to grab for anything possible that was self-care related.
For sure.
But I wanted something that was not only self-care related, but that was also helping my mind. And I've noticed too that when I leave your facility, it's a mood booster.
100%. So like emotions are held in the body, and like I have quite a few people that will cry on the table and they're like, what is happening? It's because that stuff gets stored inside of you. The trauma as well too. And I have an energy healer that I go to specifically, and she's come to me a few times and she's like, you're doing what I do.
You are.
Is that overwhelming to you? And I was like, yeah, like especially when I first started, I would get like affected by other people's energies for sure. So now I've kind of figured out a way to regulate that, but it's 100% moving of that energy, which is also, as females, very important.
It is.
And another thing, too, is that with a lot of my clients, we talk about a lot of stuff that they don't feel safe talking to other people about. So it's almost like a talk therapy.
Yes.
In addition to that, too, where you feel in a safe space to be able to be like, I can't go to the bathroom. Like, my husband drives me crazy these days of the month in regards to my menstrual cycle. Like they'll feel like they're crazy and things like that. So just having that safe space to speak to somebody, I think, is really important as well, too.
Yes.
And that's why it's just so much more than just this massage. And just, we're working together on a monthly basis to be able to figure out what's happening.
100%. Well, I know I'm grateful for you for sure. But what is something that you would advise women to do if they feel like they might be having some lymphatic issues or they think they have other health issues going on and it might be connected to backed up lymphatic?
For sure.
What's like the first step in something like that? Doing a blood test?
You can't really necessarily tell from a blood test. I'm not a big believer in blood tests personally. I'm very much into symptoms. Okay, so you figure out what your symptoms are. I will say, if you're having these type of like issues that most females are having, 99% of the time, if you work on your lymphatic system, it will improve. It might not necessarily be the end goal,
Right.
but it does have a lot to do with stuff. So I tell people, like, you should start with lymphatic drainage. You should technically start with diet first, in my opinion, because that, like, everything traces back to diet.
Right.
I have so many people, they're like, oh, no, it's not my diet, it's not this. And I'm like, it is your diet. I can guarantee it's your diet. And it's not necessarily, even my healthiest girls are sometimes eating things that their body can't tolerate.
Right.
So it's like, start with diet, then lymphatic drainage. And honestly, the sweating is huge. I'm a big advocate in sweating. A lot of people have those genetic mutations that doesn't allow you to detox properly.
Right.
So sweating could be sometimes the number one thing to be able to get that stuff out if your body's not able to do so on its own. So it's that movement, it's that sweat, it's that breath. We teach, and we have an online course coming now too of like at-home stuff, like manual massage that you can do on yourself. Because that's huge too. Like, again, reconnecting with your body. That's how I learned how to do this on other people, because I would work on myself and be
On
like,
yourself.
Oh, what is that? Why do I feel that? And like, oh, and now like I'll know exactly when I touch certain parts, like that sensation of my sinuses dripping down. It's like a very certain sensation that I feel that I'm like, okay, I've tapped into my lymphatic system. So
Totally.
just starting with that and really just getting back in tune with your body. That vibration is huge, and that's easy to do as well too. Those vibrational plates are like under $100 on Amazon.
Right.
You don't need anything too fancy, but just direct like vibration to those points can help as well too.
How often should you be maybe standing on one of those?
So I do mine 10 minutes in the morning, 10 minutes at night every day. So you don't necessarily have to do it for that long.
Okay.
The less expensive versions of the vibrational plates is 3D versus 4D.
Okay.
So the 4D ones are the ones that are like thousands of dollars.
Right.
And the science behind that is like vertical oscillation versus horizontal.
Got it.
So what I'll typically tell people is, if you don't necessarily want to spend that type of money on a very expensive one, get a little mini trampoline, because that does the vertical.
Right.
And then the other one does the horizontal. So you're able to kind of use both. And I'll tell people to do the trampoline for 2 minutes a day minimum, because that cleanses every cell in your body.
Right.
Just for 2 minutes, just straight up and down, which is
See, who knew
wild.
it only took 2 minutes?
2 minutes, that's it. And then the vibrational plate for at least like 10 minutes or whatever in addition to that. Another thing too is if you have blood sugar spikes, which a lot of females our age do, you can stand on the vibrational plate for 2 minutes after meals, and it causes those not to spike like that. So it's a really great for your digestion,
interesting.
and it causes your body to kind of like digest things a lot easier.
Instead of, like they say, go for a walk when you're done eating.
Go for a walk.
And go stand on a vibrational
For sure,
plate
yeah,
instead.
I
I'd
mean,
much rather do
obviously,
that.
You don't want to like, you'll sometimes cramp if you do it too soon. But,
Okay.
Definitely like on just a low setting too, just to make sure that everything is moving.
Right.
And it's very much just like primal, like who we were as like cavemen back in the day. Like we didn't sit down in front of a TV after we ate. Like we kept walking. It's just like the human body is just designed for that movement.
Yes.
So it just like kind of facilitates that and makes it easier for the body to adjust to that.
What about, because I know for me, a big turning point for me was going in and at least just having my blood work done to see what I was allergic to.
For sure.
Going to like a natural path and having blood work done and finding out what I was allergic to and cutting those out, I think has also made a really big difference too in how I feel.
Yeah.
And when you're dealing with allergies, how can that affect your lymph system?
So I always tell people too, the blood type diet is a really good place to start.
Okay.
I'm never a big believer in like cookie cutter. Like everybody should have this type of diet, like carnivore versus vegan versus that.
Because everybody's body works off something
everybody
different.
is different, yeah. And it's very evolutionary, where it's like, okay, I'm O blood type. So technically it came from like caveman, where there was more access to meat. So I have higher levels of acidity in my stomach to be able to break down meat. But that also means that I have certain issues due to that acidity levels that I have to be cautious with other things. So it's very much like I tell people, like, start with the blood type diet. All you need to know is your blood type.
Right.
Start to test certain things in slow motion, see what you react to. This is if you don't want to have to go into a doctor and do like a full allergy test.
Right.
And then be able to like figure out what works and what doesn't for you. Because even like the blood type diet, I still slightly modify mine because I don't want to do oxalates, and I have certain things that I like notice my body can't tolerate, even though it's stating that I should be able to.
Right.
So I always tell people to start there. It's a really good way to start to communicate with your body to figure out what it likes and what it doesn't. Gas, bloating, indigestion, any type of like low fatigue feeling after you're eating something is your body saying, I don't like it.
Right.
Skin issues around your mouth also is a good indicator that like my body does not tolerate this. So you have to be super like in tune with it to be able to start to do it that way. If you have any type of allergies and your body can't digest, it's the same thing with stagnancy. The food is just sitting in your gut. which in turn slows your entire system down. If your digestion system is not working properly, neither is your lymphatic system, and vice versa. So you can't necessarily work on one without the other and have them operate properly. So it's kind of like an overall entire thing. That's why I always say start with the diet. And I don't think doctors should be telling you what to do. I think you should start from a base and then feel it out. Because I know even on some things that it said that I can't tolerate on blood tests, I can now that I've like kind of tested it. So I just don't know if it's always 100% accurate. I think it's up to you to be able to decide that. And that's the best way for you to start to get into that process.
And just go off how you feel.
Yeah. A lot of people are very disconnected from their bodies.
Extremely disconnected. Yeah. And especially when you're going through something traumatic or you're just in survival mode as a mom and a wife, you definitely lose that connection to yourself.
I think we all just disassociate, right? Too. Yes. Like, we don't want to feel the feelings. We don't want to have our stomach hurts. It's almost now everyone's like, oh, why don't you just eat that? I'm like, because I will physically feel like I'm dying because I'm like now so in tune with my body that I know what it feels like to feel bad.
Totally.
And so many people are like, why can my friend eat all that kind of stuff and not feel sick? I'm like, they do feel sick. They just don't know what sick feels like. They think that that's normal. So they don't have anything to like relate that to. So.
Right. Yeah, no, I've noticed on my health journey and the things that I'm dealing with that I've had to cut out alcohol completely. Yeah. So I'm definitely not that fun friend. But that's okay. I can still have fun and rage with the best of them and be sober through it. And then also cut back. I mean, I've had to cut coffee out completely.
Yeah, I definitely have a struggle with that myself too, because I have like one thing left, and that's like my one.
It's
I have
a vice.
Very addictive personality style for sure. Like I have those demons in me. I translate it towards health and wellness, which is great. I can like control it.
Right.
But it's like I always have to have this one thing that I kind of slightly overdo. So like in reality, that I still push it with caffeine, even though the histamine, it flares, all that kind of stuff.
Yep.
And I'll instantly know, like once I've taken it past that, like
because you feel
overload bucket, and my eyes get crossed. I'm like, oh my gosh, like here it comes, you know.
That's crazy.
But it's just, you know, like we have to do our best with what we can. It's hard for us. You know,
it is, but I think everybody has something, right?
For sure, and that's okay too.
That's human nature.
Perfect. Yeah.
No, you don't.
And that's a huge thing that I'm a big advocate in is like, it's not this fake aesthetic of everything's perfect. And it's like, no, like every once in a while I'll drink like a skinny margarita and feel like garbage the next day. You know what I mean? Like I don't want anybody to think that it's like unrealistic expectations. Like we all fall off track. We all get back on track. It's just you have to be okay with that and get started again and get back in touch. Don't let anybody else tell you what to do. Go based off of the way your body feels.
And give yourself grace.
Yeah, it's hard.
As
hard.
Women, it's hard.
Especially with kids and husbands and work and all the other stuff that we have. It's like I wake up at 3 a.m. every day to get all the stuff that I have to get done. You know, that's not manageable for most people. But I make it because it's important to me. And it makes me a better mom and a person and things like that. But some days I definitely fall off track for sure.
Sure. And on a female entrepreneurial level, because I know I feel this too, and I know you and I have connected on this, is as a female, sometimes you don't feel like you can win. You know, something's got to give. And when you're pursuing your passions and your dreams, you know, you have mom guilt sometimes.
For sure.
You know, I'm not there enough for them, or I'm checking my phone when they're with me, or I'm doing all the things. But at the end of the day, it's like finding that balance and also realizing that you're just trying to better yourself, which then in turn betters your family.
For sure. And they pay attention to that stuff too. I know that they do. I have a 17-year-old and he's just at that age now where I can start to see him making certain choices. And it's like, I feel like I'm improving because I've treated him in a way that like my parents did some stuff to me when I was younger where I was like, oh, I'll never do that to mine. You know, not like any fault of theirs. They just didn't know. Right. So I'm more cognizant of that, of like body positivity and all these kind of things. Yes. And like not making him scared of food or things like that. And I've noticed that it's definitely translating and he's making better choices. And that makes me extremely happy.
That's great. And then how old's your youngest?
2. He's a wild man too.
Girl.
He's taken me through the ringer.
They always say the second baby is always the handful.
So his middle name is Wild. And
I love that.
If that wasn't like accurate, I feel like we almost jinxed it because I'm like, this baby. I said he
so cute though.
Came in and like kicked the door down and was like, I'm here.
I'm here.
Like, boy, he's here for sure. All great personality aspects that I think like as an adult will be awesome.
Yes.
Hard to parent.
Yes.
It's great though.
Yes. My daughter is very independent and very strong-willed, knows what she likes and what she doesn't like. Yeah. And in my mind, I'm like, man, you are so hard to parent. But at the end of the day, I'm like, I wouldn't want you any other way. For sure. I want to raise a strong woman in today's world.
100%. You know, they feel safe enough to be able to do that. They always say like if they act their worst around you, then you're parenting right. Yeah. Just because they feel safe to do so and to express emotions. So.
Oh yeah. I deal with all the tantrums and all the things for sure. So you have a location in Vegas.
I do.
You have the location in Costa Mesa. Is that Costa Mesa, Newport kind of border?
Yeah, it's right on the border.
Okay, which is the one that I go to quite regularly and will continue to go to.
Yeah.
Are you opening up a third location?
We're trying to. I got a little overwhelmed recently, honestly, with the baby, the traveling back and forth between the two places. Had a little bit of a breakdown where I'm like, maybe I just need to like chill for a second. We're releasing this online platform,
Okay.
which really combines all the things.
Yeah.
And what I'm most passionate about at the moment, the fitness aspect, like specific workouts for your lymphatic system, breath work, diet advice, lifestyle tips, like kind of everything that I talk to my clients about on a daily basis.
Right.
So that's really become my baby. So I'm like, I think I just need to like chill at the moment. Like eventually we want Scottsdale. We've already kind of identified a space. I held back on doing anything for the moment just because I'm a little, like I said, overwhelmed. So,
Yes.
and I have to take care of myself. I have to take care of my family.
You do.
Otherwise it's just going to like bleed out
Implode.
everywhere. Sure.
Yeah.
But like the online course is my baby right now. And that's really what I'm focusing on most, to be able to get that up. And hopefully by November 1st, I think it's going to be live.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And that's really exciting.
For sure.
Well, I appreciate you. And I'm really glad that you came on today to set the record straight about lymphatic drainage massage.
Appreciate it.
And I hope someone listening today gives it a try.
Yeah, I think
chance.
it's really important for them to, like I said, just reconnect with themselves. And that's the best way to do it, is through lymphatic drainage, in my opinion.
It is. I agree. So thank you.
Yeah.